Hi guys, Guy in Kalamazoo here, coming with a review of my Surface 3. And I have a YouTube subscriber who is thinking of going from I guess he has an iPad, something, and is curious about the Surface. So I promised him a few weeks ago I would do this, and yeah, I figure I will. One of my first reviews ever on my channel, so let's keep it to that. And here is the Surface. I'm going to move the camera down here. Okay, there we go. Okay, and again, the Surface 3, a little bit about the history with the Surface, and forgive me because it's got, yeah, it's dirty. It's not out of the box. I've had the Surface probably for a good 6 months probably. I've had several Surfaces. I started out because I am a fan of Microsoft, as many of you know. Started out with the RT, Windows RT, and yeah, it was a good, back a few years ago, it was good for what it did, what I needed. I'm not a power user, except for my PC. I'm not a power user. This Surface does everything I need it to, and I do have to say, this is one of the best pieces of hardware technology I've ever owned in my life. You know, it's a simple little thing, but seriously it is. So I went from the RT to a Surface 2, and subsequently, I think I went through 2 Surface 2s maybe. I've never owned a Pro, because like I said, everything I've needed to do, the RT did at the time, the Surface 2 did at the time, and now this is doing for me now. Could this be more powerful? Yeah, probably. Because the specs on this, let me check. I'm checking my notes as I talk too, because I did put down the specs for this. This happens to have an Intel Atom processor. It's an X7 processor and 1.6 gigahertz. This version is not the 4 gig. This is the 2 gig. This version also is Wi-Fi, but also is LTE through AT&T. In fact, that's where I purchased this, was through AT&T. When we purchased the Samsung phone, they happen to have this on an offer because the Surface 4 was coming out, and I believe I paid, I don't even think it was $400. It seems like it was $350, $300, something like that. But that was just for the tablet, just for the Surface. The type cover, which is the newer version of the type cover, and yeah, I don't know if you can see, it's a little dirty from use. This, of course, was $100, a separate accessory. The pen this is also the newer version of the pen. This doesn't have the buttons on the side. It's got the click top, which I'll show the functionality here soon. You can also use this as an eraser. I love this pen. This is the newer pen that goes with the Pro 3, Pro 4, but it also works for this Surface 3. This case that I have, or this pen, I love the pen just fits in here just perfect too. This is a undergear case and very, very sturdy. It did add, I would say, at least a pound onto the weight of this, but to me, this case is worth it because, and I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, I don't have it in the camera. But anyway, the upper corner here is cracked. The screen's cracked, and that was from a drop and fall, my fault. And I put super glue into the crack because I didn't want it progressing any further. So this, I do have to say too, since this is a review, yes, I love this device, and my limitations on the device are the 2 gig. Yeah, this does have Windows 10. It came with Windows 8.1. I upgraded to Windows 10, 64-bit operating system, and then it's got the touch screen and just as like a standard pen and touch with the keyboard. Keyboard comes off. I'll show this. Yeah, see, dirt. with the keyboard off. It's also got the tilt functionality here, just like any other tablet. It also, something I love about this, that it asks when it knows the keyboard's off, you want to switch to tablet mode. I'll switch there for now. Tablet mode, and then it allows you to pull in different apps. I happen to have the Xbox app up, and it looks like my email's up. But yeah, and then, of course, put the keyboard back on. And yes, I do want to switch back to regular mode. Okay. So the tablet, I love the tablet and what it needs to do for me. If you're looking for any serious gaming, I would know. This is not good for that. I've actually, through the Xbox app, I have streamed the Xbox to this and it works fine. But if you want to install any games, any heavy-duty games, I have actually tested out Diablo 3 on this, and it worked. A little slow, a little slower frame rate, but it did work. But like any Call of Duties, any Assassin's Creed, anything heavy-duty, no, forget it. The Gears of War Ultimate Edition that came out on the Windows 10 store, yeah, forget it. This will not serve that purpose, so you definitely don't want that. You want this for that. But casual gaming works just fine, like a charm. I play the Asphalt 8 on this, and it just works beautifully. So yeah, compared to other tablets that I've owned Lenovo Yoga. It had a very awkward keyboard. The base of it was very round, tubular, a big magnet too, and then the keyboard clipped on just like this, magnetic. It was very odd. My sister actually owns that now. And then I had, it was an HP, I'm trying to think of the brand, it was an X2. And it was white. And at the time, HP had made a second edition of that with the Windows 10. It had an upgraded processor. And I had went to Best Buy to purchase that, and they had actually misstated that they had some in the store, which they didn't have any in the store. They had the first version of it. I went ahead and got it because they gave me a really good deal on it. In that one, it was okay, but it was not the Surface, and I needed to get back to this. So that's when I did go ahead and get this. It is the LTE. I just listed off some of the specs. I do wish I did get the 4 gig, but I didn't. It's the 2 gig. So you notice some performance issues with it because of that. Let me speak of battery life a little bit. This, I do have this, I believe it's fully charged right now. Yeah. I've got 10 more hours, it says. And that is accurate. That is pretty accurate. Unless I'm listening to a lot of music, which I do on this through my Groove music service. If I'm listening to music, checking the internet, what else? Like checking my email, stuff like that. I think the battery draws down faster because normally, now this is on Wi-Fi, my home network. But normally, like if I'm at work, it is using that LTE signal. And I can get a pretty much full 8-hour workday using this. But as soon as I get home, it's going to be time to charge it. So I would say with fairly heavy use, the battery life of this is 6 to 8 hours. If I just casual use, it's more like 8 to 10 hours, like it truly says. Yeah, with this, I also got the dongle for for casting the screen, the wireless adapter that Microsoft has. That, and it works fine. It works beautiful. It was on the TV that's sitting behind me. but now it's on the TV in the living room, and I have uses for it. Cortana, I should have turned you off. There. Cortana works just fine, too. Hey, Cortana, how's the weather in Michigan?
I'm not sure I understand.
It's currently 32 and lightly snowing in Detroit.
Okay. The other one the one that said she didn't understand. I've got Microsoft stuff all over here. I'm sitting at my main computer too, and that's the one she said, "Oh, I don't understand." But you saw her come up and say it was 32, so I use her all the time. Let me pull this out too, because I also have this is the Lumia 640, which I think I talked about on other vlogs, but I love this phone. This phone was $40. It's paid in full. I love it. And she's on this too, and I use it all the time. And something I love about the Xbox, my PC, all this Windows 10 stuff, if I use Cortana to schedule something on the phone, it appears everywhere. It goes everywhere. I just love the integration of the Windows 10. I know there's a little bit of a controversy I'm not going to get into now, maybe on a vlog later, today or tomorrow, about the Windows 10 game store, but we'll talk about that another day. This is the review of the Surface 3. So casting the screen's good. Moving from program to program is good. Let me review this pen. Okay, so one tap of the pen is, yep, my OneNote. It will bring up OneNote. I know I'm doing it upside down. Guy in, yeah, A-Z-O. But anyway, you get the gist. Now, see, erase, 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 just like a regular pen. Love it. Double click. Takes a screenshot of, and it's like, okay, clipball, where do you want it? Okay, I don't want it. So let's turn this off. Let me push and hold. Hey, Cortana, when does Juventus play next?
On Sunday, March 6th, Juventus squares up against Atlanta at 9 a.m.
Eastern Time.
Okay. So if you push and hold this, you get Cortana. And then, unfortunately, I should have turned her off here on the PC when I started this, but I didn't. The pen, though, I love the pen. It works fine. I do take a lot of notes at work when I'm at work, and this comes in very handy at work because I'm able to just open up OneNote, take my notes. Also in the OneNote, I'm not going to talk about OneNote, but within OneNote, if you're using the pen, there's an option to turn the ink into type. So you're able to write with the pen, and then it recognizes and turns it into type. So that's very good also. The screenshot Cortana, I talked about the accessories that I have for that. This is one thing about a Surface purchase that you always want to maybe look for deals. I know the Microsoft Store has some deals sometimes where you get the type cover with the purchase of a Surface, or maybe the pen will be on sale. The pen itself, retail, I believe I paid $60 for this. The type cover is in like another $100 to $120 on top of the cost of the Surface, which this LTE version, as I said, I think it was $350 to $400, if I'm thinking correctly. So this whole package, I'm going to say $600. Is it worth the $600? 100% yes. Now, when when Microsoft came out and announced the Surface Book, I wanted one so bad. But it's, for me, cost prohibitive. It still is to this day very much cost prohibitive. So you might ask, well, the Surface 4 is out. How about the Surface 4? The Surface 4, in fact, when I went to Best Buy and talked to somebody about Surface 4, and I actually had a Surface 4 in my hand, nice, faster device, beautiful device. If you can afford one, get one. the price of a Surface 4 right now, I'm going to look it up real quick here. The cost of the Surface 4 was, I think it was like $900. I am going to look it up. Let's see. Surface 4. Okay, sorry for this. I'm just trying to check the price. Yeah, it's like $800 at Best Buy. It's dropped down in price from $900 to $800. Okay, at the time it was $900, but once you figure in the cost of the pen, the cost of the type cover, you are looking at the lower end of a Surface Book. So I'm like, okay, if you're going to spend all that for a Surface Pro 4, you might as well go with the Surface Book. Okay, Surface 4, speaking of that, right now it's only in Pro version. I have heard rumor that the Surface 4, the predecessor to the Surface 3, is going to be announced soon. So there you have my, hopefully, simple review of the Surface 3. I just love the Surface 3, and if you guys have anything I should have talked about, let me know. I discussed the pen. The touchscreen the touchscreen's very fluid. It's just very nice. This is again LTE notifications, and with the pen you can use the pen just as you use your finger. Let me go ahead and clear my notifications. It's just a very, very, very good device, and if you can afford this as presented, like for $600, it's well worth it. So anyway, guys, let me bring this back. Okay, yeah. Sorry for I very rarely edit videos. I just do them and put them up. So anyway, guys, that's my review of the Surface. Highly recommend it. I do recommend, if you can get it, the one with a 4 gig. I didn't speak of that. It does on the back. Underneath the cover, you can put up to 128 gigabyte mini SD card. So you have that secondary storage. And yeah, so I believe this 32 gig also comes in a 34 gig flavor. I think this is 32, which is, for me, it's fine because I've got a 64 gig mini SD card in it. Anyway, guys, that's my review of the Surface 3. Hope you enjoyed it, and you guys take care and enjoy life.